everyone, my name is Zoe and I'm from the Great British Mag, which is a digital magazine that covers everything an international student needs to know about living and also studying in the UK. So you're looking to study in the UK and you're starting university. That's actually a very exciting thing, a very good thing to look forward to. So it's important that you make the right choice, and it's also important that you do some research and also know some background information about the university and also the country that you want to study in. So today I'll be answering some of your questions and also giving an honest review of the University of Manchester. So the first question is, why did I choose to study at the University of Manchester, and did the hype and perception live up to reality? So I chose the University of Manchester because it has a high ranking and also because it has an amazing campus. So I'll use a lot of the University of Manchester's facilities like the library, the learning commons, the SU event, like student union events, and also the workshops. So the people at the workshop are really nice, and I think a lot of students enroll because they think that they can have classes at the Woolworth Hall, which is the significant signature University of Manchester building, but that doesn't really happen. So at least it didn't happen for me. I just got my bank letter there and that's it. So the second question is, what is Manchester like? The good things and also the bad things. So Manchester is a growing city. It is nice and it has a certain vibrance to it, but it's definitely not as prosperous and not as big as London. The food is great in Manchester and there is a rich history behind it too. It was actually the place that the Industrial Revolution originated. There are not a lot of things I really would complain about Manchester except for the weather. It always rains, it's super gloomy all the time, but then isn't this the typical UK weather? So the third question is good and bad points about the campus. Is the library any good? What is the food like in the canteen? What support do they provide international students? Is the campus walkable? The campus is actually quite walkable. If you're not an engineering based course, I think your course will be based in the main campus, and a lot of buildings are actually on the main campus. It's very walkable. All the buildings are not far away. It's basically, I think, 3 or 4 minutes walk. The main campus is not really that large. The buildings are nice. Woolworth Hall is nice. The learning commons and the main library are closed, so if you need any additional resources to write essays, then you can just walk to the library and then walk back to the learning commons. What I really like about the campus is there are, I think, 2 campuses. So there's that one main campus which is close to where I live and close to where I have my lessons, and there's this northern campus which is very engineering based courses. It's where the engineering courses are at, and it's further away into the city center. And the good thing is, if you want to take the bus from the main campus to the northern campus, bus 147 is free for University of Manchester students, as long as you can show the driver that you have like a University of Manchester ID. You can get on bus 147 for free, but other than that, other buses you can't get on them for free. It's around £1.5 per trip, which is quite decent, I guess. So in terms of the library, UM has a lot of libraries. It's not just the main library, so they have a lot of libraries really. So there's one that is in the humanities building, or is it in my building, the architecture building? So I think that is like an architecture based library. And there's one library called the John Ryans Library, which is in Deansgate, and that one is so beautiful. If you're like a Harry Potter fan, you should go there. It's very rich in history, and also the architecture is really grand. So what is the food like in the canteen? So we don't really have a canteen. I think there are a lot of cafes, and also if you go to the student union, there are food booths and coffee shops, but there's no like a canteen where you take a tray and people dump food on your tray. We don't have that in the UK, or at least at my school. What support do they provide international students? I think the SU, the student union, design a lot of events for students, but they're not really that targeted. towards international students. So if you're just a student, you can join them. And there's actually an international society, but that organization is independent from University of Manchester, and international society is free to join if you're a uni student, so you can actually join that society. They organize trips, they have language exchange, they have events, they have socials, and it's a great way to know and also meet a lot of new friends. So now, question number 5. What is it like to study with British students? There are not a lot of British students on my course. There are some, but my course, and I think University of Manchester in general, is a very international university. So besides English or British students, a lot of other students come from all across the world. So I know some of my friends are from Malaysia, some of them from Romania, some are from Bulgaria, and some are from Indonesia. It's very international, so I don't really find it hard to study with them or become friends with them, because I think everybody is very open-minded. They're all very respectful of each other's cultures and also ways of studying. So I think it's very nice so far. I think everybody is friendly. The only thing that I'm not really used to is how the UK or maybe European students in general really love partying, which is something I don't really do that much back in my country. And drinking, I don't really drink as well, and my tolerance is really bad. So sometimes I think they're so cool because they can drink so much alcohol, so much wine, and still party and still be sober. But I'll be sleeping and I feel so sleepy, and like my head is so heavy just after one drink. So I totally respect it. Question number 6. What are the local people like? I find the local people actually really nice. Like, I've been to malls, I've been to like the mall in the city center, we just got on down, and when I buy things and when I need help, they're always there to help me, and they're super helpful and super nice as well. I don't really find them hard to communicate with, except sometimes they might have a really heavy accent, but if you didn't catch that and ask them to can you repeat yourself, sorry I didn't really catch that, they're always happy to do it. And so far it's also great, so don't have to worry about not being able to communicate or the people not liking you. I think everybody's very respectful and caring. Moving on to question number 7. What is the student accommodation like? So I've lived at the University of Manchester accommodation in my first year, so I lived in Whitworth Park, which is super close to the main campus, and I really love that because I always like to sleep till the last minute. So having a accommodation that's close to the lecture hall is really beneficial to my sleeping schedules. And for Whitworth Park is a relatively old kind of accommodation, and it has slanted roofs. I was living at the top floor, so my roof was actually slanted, and a lot of people used to complain about that, about how they usually just hit their heads on the roof, but it doesn't really happen to me because I'm not really that tall, so I'm quite small, quite petite, and I really like it in general. I think the slanted roof actually adds like kind of coziness to my room. People think that Whitworth Park is very dirty or very unsafe, but I think it's quite safe since it has security gates all over the edges, the boundaries, and also the street Oxford Road is relatively safe since it's like a main road, so you don't have to worry too much or be too scared. It's also quite well lit at night. In terms of comfort, I think in Whitworth Park all of them are single beds. Some of them have basins, and most of them are shared bathrooms. I don't think they have ensuite at Whitworth Park. So if you choose accommodation, you have to look into that because some people are really against sharing bathrooms or sharing toilets. So make sure you choose ensuite instead of shared bathrooms. And Whitworth Park, I live in a room with basin, so I live in Thorncliffe House, and that is actually a mixed accommodation. So in one flat there are 9 rooms, so 9 people live together, and it's mixed, so there are boys and there are girls. It's not single gender. Okay, question number 8. yeah, walkability and public transport. So I think in general Manchester is quite a walkable city if you don't want to go to, you know, really far places like the city center. We're actually in the city center or close to the city center. So from where I'm living now, I live close to the main campus, the city campus. So I'm just 30 minutes walk away from Piccadilly Gardens, which is what I consider city center. And if you take the bus, it's around 10 minutes and it costs about £1.5. It's not too expensive, it's not too cheap, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, either you can walk or you can take a bus. And a lot of people Uber as well is a very common choice here in the UK. Apart from that, I don't think it's very hard to access public transport here. You do have to check the schedule for some of the buses because some of them are spaced really far away from each other in terms of time. So maybe it's like a 30-minute interval, so make sure you don't miss the bus if you're running late for your lecture. So make sure you just have to download the app or just go online and check when the buses are gonna come. Okay, number 9, the food in the city. Oh my god, some of the best food I've ever eaten is actually in Manchester. I think the gems, like the food gems in Manchester, are basically located in Northern Quarter. So what I really like is Ezra and Gill, and also there is an ice cream parlor at Tip Street, I think it's also in Northern Quarter, who sells ice cream, but it's not like a typical vanilla, strawberry, or chocolate flavor. It's very new, new flavors like mango mochi, or just like matcha, or there's like cantaloupe or honeydew flavor. It's just such a breath of fresh air and you should definitely try it out. There are also a lot of new restaurants at Ancoats. I think that's like a new developing area, that's why there are a lot of good restaurants there. So there's one bakery called Pollen Bakery, which I absolutely adore. They have the best pastries there, and the view. So Pollen Bakery is on the edge of the canal. So basically if you sit near the window, you have a view towards the canal. It's super amazing. Imagine having like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and then with like a beautiful croissant, and then just staring into nature. It's just very nice. Okay, the last question is entertainment in the city. So I don't really party a lot, but as I said before, because we're located close to the city center, so there are actually a lot of clubs, a lot of bars, a lot of pubs you can explore. And some of my friends, they found really good places for drinking, and most of the restaurants actually do cocktails, like 2-for-1 promotion during the night times, so it's actually a pretty good deal. And then for me personally, I like watching movies, and it's quite cheap here compared to the tickets that I buy back home. So here it's just around £5 per ticket. Back in Macau, where I come from, it's actually £13. So yeah, you could do a lot with £13. And also Manchester is quite close to Peak District, not exactly very close. Peak District is closer to Sheffield, but it's not really that far away. It's like a train ride away, and you can actually go hiking with your friends. The view there is so good, it's magnificent. What else? Oh, there's a form of entertainment which I really like, and it's going to IKEA. So I usually take the tram there, and I just go there, eat the Swedish meatballs, and also look at furniture with my friends. So yeah, this is the end of the Q&A, and also I've given you an honest review of University of Manchester. I hope this video has helped you, and do subscribe to our channel for more useful stuff about studying in the UK, and click the notification bell. Bye!